Hello and welcome to the Daily Political Tarot and Astrology here on the Black and Orange channel. I am here literally every single day. I have been for over 4 years. Every weekday, weekend, holiday, your birthday, my birthday, I am here to take your political questions out of the chat. Just put your questions in the chat before I come on. 10% of nope, I changed that. We talked about this. Anyway, we have epic troll slayers who keep us safe, and we have got a fantastic community here because of you. You have been so kind to each other. You have been so kind to us. Thank you. Thank you. And if you are you okay?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. And if you're watching on replay, hello. You can go down in the description box. All the questions are listed there. Miss Sarah's. We have an extra day of Sarah this week, and a little special, and which always makes everything better.
Aww.
So thank you for being here. So, and thank you everybody for the congratulations. Yeah, we've got. I guess we have a number of behind the scenes questions or more personal questions today toward the bottom of the list.
Well, so far we just have the one.
The one.
But yeah. So we'll make it work.
Yeah. Well, anyway, if you have any questions about the channel or either of us or anything like that, this is your day. Anyway, Ricky has, and the star of the show, soon to release his feature film debut of King Kong versus Boo Boo. Oh, the one and only Boo Boo's and Kitty. And of course, King Kong would immediately just stop and.
Oh, the cuteness! I know, right?
So anyway, all right. I don't know if you can tell from the kind of weird lighting, but there's a storm rolling into Chicago. So just letting you know, shouldn't be a problem. And thank you.
Well, if something happens and you go poof for a second, I'll come up with some sort of entertaining something. We'll figure it out.
Okay.
Oh, there are days when we have the sense God gave an aardvark, I swear. Okay.
Oh, yes. Gray says, I picture Coco and her kitten.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's get into it, shall we?
Yes.
Hang on one.
People brought questions.
Yes, they did. Y'all are just amazing. I need to move my... Here we go. Okay.
Thank you.
At 3:20. Y'all. Okay. Yet another Trump rally had a mass exodus of attendees, this time in the Bronx. Initial attendance was estimated to be at capacity around 25,000 is what Gora was saying. But police body cam footage shows officers absolutely baffled when people started leaving, and their overhead aviation estimation put the crowd at about 3,500 once Trump really got to talking. Like, the cops are like, really? That's it? What? Yeah.
And they caught that on camera?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's on camera. The question is, how can his campaign or his ego sustain this? Because the thing is, and there's talk about this in the article, where people were commenting that he's still advertising for attendees through CraigsList. So
is he advertising or is he offering money?
From what I understand, from what that said, he's paying people to attend. Now, the problem is that we don't know if the 3,500 were the people that he paid that were staying to get their money, or if they were part of everybody else who were just like, I'm a runner. I'm a track star. I don't know. I don't know. But this is not, either way, it's not sustainable. Yeah.
Oh, wow. This is interesting. Oh, by the way, there are nails today. There aren't always these, but these are, I call these my Macintosh nails.
Very cool. Very pretty.
Making arts and crafts, and I've been wearing them for years. These are very old, and anyway, so they're nails today. Lori in the chat is asking, is Trump paying homeless people to attend the rallies? I wouldn't think so, because they wouldn't have the look that he wants.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, and Robin D gifted 10 memberships to random people in the chat. Thank you, Robin.
It's very sweet.
Thank you.
Very sweet.
Okay, cast your mind back to 2014.
The halcyon days, yes.
Yes, 2013, 2012. There was a tea party. We knew that. And I still don't forgive them for trying to take over the concept of tea.
Right?
But there was a certain reality, a certain decorum. And it was after the Bush era. Obama was president.
Yes.
And he was unproblematic. The big thing the right lost their minds about, he's ineffective.
He wore that tan suit.
And he wore a tan suit. Right? Yeah. Those were their big, he's going to take all your guns. Did he he was in office for 8 years. Did he take your guns?
No.
But I was just pulling up these cards, and right in the middle, it's like a breath of fresh air. And I'm not saying it's going to be permanent, but I'm just going along, and suddenly it was like, whew. So let me show you what I've got. The card for the reading is Joe Biden, President Biden. All right. Here we have the Two of Swords. Is, for me, it's a voting card. You go in and you make your choice. So that's voting. And Trump and his ilk are really not, it's not going well. They're feeling on beyond defensive. But right in the middle, I've got a Temperance card. And it just had this wonderful feeling of women are going to vote, and this feeling of reality, this sense of under Joe Biden, we have record low unemployment. We have the stock market hitting all-time highs. We have, I'm not saying everything's perfect.
Right. There's
still housing problems, and there's still inflation, but we're doing much better.
Yes.
Than a lot of places. This is good, but this is also this sense of, I just got this feeling of, even if it's just for a short time, it's like everyone's like, oh yeah, okay, Joe Biden, he's one of those presidents we're used to. We're used to that. He's not this awfulness, because. But then we have far right communication, and so it doesn't last. And then the right go back to being the right.
Mm-hmm.
But I wonder if this doesn't feel like things going well for Trump or easy on Trump. What this feels like is there's a collective moment of, not universal collective moment, but a big moment of, oh, okay. This is a president I don't know what that is.
Right.
But this is a precedent. So maybe hopefully it's when the conviction happens. Please, oh please. So.
Alrighty. Well, that definitely gives me some warm and fuzzies. So moving on. At 10:22, Senator Ron Johnson,
Yuck.
Wisconsin, yeah.
Please, I'm eating. No, go ahead.
I'm sorry. Has finally admitted that January 6th was violent. But he says that the violence was due to outside agitators. Okay, it's in my name, so I'm going to say it as in my name, but no shiz, Sherlock. Nancy Pelosi was not out there beating Capitol policemen with flagpoles, okay? Yes, it was due to outside agitators. And not necessarily the conservatives.
He's so vile.
Mm-hmm. Is he that delusional, or is he trying to cover his own behind? Because he keeps going on and saying that, oh, well, all of that mess was in the House. We were safe in the Senate. I never felt threatened over there in the Senate side of the building. That was all over
What?
there. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I didn't feel threatened at all. Well, of course you didn't. They're your people. They're not going to do nothing to you. He says he didn't feel threatened at all, that most of that was over on the House side of things.
Horned helmet guy was in the Senate chamber.
You know that. I know that. Jesus knows that. Ron Johnson, not so much.
He's just,
So, yeah.
I do not have the words to express to you. That man lies like a rug.
Well, you do. They're just not repeatable in good company. So the words exist. They're just. That's it. We're gonna have to do a black and orange after dark. Tell you something about you that you don't know.
What I really can't express is there is no, like, if the truth is on and lies are off, the switch is on off with Ron Johnson, and he cannot physically be raised to on.
Yeah.
There is no other than this, well, except in this circumstance, or he has some, there's no shame, there's no doubt, there's no
Yeah.
So, and they learned from the moron himself about just keep lying and just stick to it. It's kind of like the I think I've mentioned this before. A friend of mine I was in a writing group with, because I've been in 6 different writing groups. And she had started this really interesting novel that she was calling The Gold Diamond Paradox. And what that was, apparently that's a real thing. Because the main character could see various spirits and things. But I guess when she had in the past had tried to say something about it, it had not gone well with people, you're crazy, that kind of stuff. So she had to pretend she didn't see them. And the Gold Diamond Paradox, from what I understand, what she explained to me is that it's it's a real thing, that in order to be believable in a lie, you have to accept it 100%, 24/7, no takesy backsies, no wavering, no nothing.
Yes.
And that's what these idiots do. Thank you, Peggy. Thank you.
So sweet. Thank you.
All right, Ron Johnson. All right, Magician, Queen of Wands, 10 of Cups, Strength, and Ace of Cups. Now, I thought he was talking about not running again, but apparently he is.
I don't know what that was not mentioned in the thing, because they talked to him during a campaign stop. So that's yeah. So he may be campaigning for someone else or himself. That was not made clear in the article. But during a recent campaign stop, he was asked, and that's when he finally admitted, well, yeah, it was violence, but it was outside agitation.
No, it was agitation from the ghosts of past presidents.
I'm sorry, I just keep seeing the ghost of Andrew Jackson with his big old stick knocking people around. Yeah.
Okay, well, this is trying to pull a rabbit out of a hat. This is a con man. This is the whole group supporting Trump. However, ding, happy families, strong women, a new, more democratic beginning. So whatever his deal is, things are not looking good for him. So I don't know if he's not my understanding is he's fairly popular in Wisconsin. I never understood why. I lived in Wisconsin twice for a number of years each time, and I never got it. Never understood it.
Well, the next thing we have at 1650, this, for those who have been around a minute.
Thank you, DLC.
Oh, yes, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for clarifying that. For those who've been around for a minute, you may recall me mentioning a time or two that somebody's going to mess up and go to jail and discover they have a favorite flavor ramen. I've mentioned that a couple of times. Well, guess what? Peter Navarro has a favorite flavor ramen. It's on record. He is complaining about the food in his Miami prison, but he is thankful that he can buy ramen at the commissary. And he is a, quote, fool for the hot chili flavor ramen. Absolutely loves it. Do you realize how much salt is in that? That old man is getting jacked up, and not in a good way. But, just in the spirit of, will more of Trump's co-conspirators soon learn their favorite flavors too?
It's so funny because I mean, I don't eat ramen. One, because I never developed a taste for it because it was all meat flavored. And I've been vegan for many 20 years now. But also I try to do whole wheat noodles to get the amino acids and stuff. But it does look convenient. This doesn't feel like a plan. This feels like options. Like, oh, what about this one? Oh, what about that one? This is the card for the reading. Yeah, I like this one. Well, that one's pretty good. They would be mightily upset.
So much woe.
They would be waiting for their ships to come in, their orders to come in. I don't know. Ace of Swords. That's a new legal beginning. 8 of Cups. This is evidence and various options you might walk away from. And then 4 of Cups, being disgusted and not wanting those options at all. And the card underneath the card for the reading.
Oh gosh. Yes. Yes.
Ramen around and find out.
Yep. I mean, poor folks in jail. That's where you find out if you're in one or the other. Remember? Yes. I learned growing up that my favorite flavor was shrimp.
Hey, there we go.
Yes. Yeah, those things are sodium bombs. That man is, if all he's eating is ramen in there, that's
zero fiber.
He's not a spring chicken. I don't.
The
he's
one
not
thing
even a summer chicken. I'm.
The one thing I find fascinating about him is apparently the reason he's not bulky buff, but he's buff. He's in good shape.
He's toned. Yeah.
Because apparently he is a huge yoga guy. Huge into yoga. And so I'm just picturing him doing the cobra pose in prison, the
downward facing dog.
the cell block D pose, the rise with the morning roll call pose.
Oh my God, that is hysterical. That is hysterical. Oh gosh, the mental image. Okay.
And now is eating all that ramen. I mean, you don't have to put the whole pack of salt in, but
well, the noodles themselves are salty. Oof. So yeah, it's Okay. Well, at 22 even. Lewis has a question.
Hang on.
What we got?
I'm so sorry for talking with my mouth full.
You're good.
Please do not reference or please don't reference assault, intimate assault in prison. It's not funny. It's not. Right. It's disgusting. It is as disgusting as anyone, right. any woman walking around on the street. We just, and please take those comments out of the chat. We don't talk about stuff like that here because it's wrong, and we don't. Yeah. Anyway, go ahead. I'm so sorry. You were saying.
No, you're good. You're good. At 22:45, Lewis has a question regarding the lie about the attempted unaliving of Dumpty, because it did turn out that all of that was a lie. Yeah. Will the Murdoch? Go ahead.
And a deflection.
Yes.
But go ahead.
Will the Murdoch family ever see jail time or serious repercussions for their endless, numerous, dangerous lies?
Yeah. There's the group of them have money. They don't listen to decency. They are just wanting more and more to come in for them. And we may see a decline, but there's no big... There's no major arcana here. There's no tower. There's no justice card. There's no... So on the whole, I think they've got the money and possibly the continent jumping ability. Yeah.
Well, it was worth a look-see. So we can dream. So at 24:20, Mimi has a question. Will Steve Bannon ever serve jail time, or will he keep getting reprieves somehow or another?
He's still under the delusion that it's gonna be great for his career when he gets out. It's forever. He's gonna be a martyr and blah 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 blah. Yeah. And he thinks he's a big tough guy in his war room with his My Pillow fort in his basement. He's Mr. Tough Guy. Yes, he is.
Kelly says he only committed a little treason, just a little bit, just a teach, just a smidge, just sprinkled it on there like it was. Yeah,
right. He stole from MAGA people.
Yeah,
they're supposed to support you.
Yeah.
Card for the reading, not literal, but things not going so well. He will try to put off what he can, but there's only so much. This is pretty weak. These are his lawyers, but this is aggressive law enforcement, and this is four of Pentacles, which makes me wonder if either is he going to have trouble buying his ramen, or once he gets out, if things are not going to go quite as well for him as he thinks. I mean, I don't know that he's going to be in for that long. I don't know how long his sentence is for. Oh no, is he going for sentencing? Is the actual trial? Whatever it is. The thing to remember is his he has made a career out of glomming onto lesser far right. Like he started out, like his big break was Breitbart.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if it's his break, but that's he
Yeah.
And he helped them. He might have even owned a part of it. I can't remember, but
he owned it at one point, I thought.
Hey, there we go.
Before he went to work at the White House, he sold it to go work at the White House.
Okay, well, now the war room is a Mike Lindell production. So things might not go quite as well as he thinks, although I would, there are those people on the right who are so awful and they make a lot more money than we'll ever see.
Yeah.
I just actually care about human beings and democracy in the future, and I have a conscience, and so I guess I will never be that wealthy.
Well,
he's so gross. He's so gross.
Yeah.
Does anybody know how much time he's facing?
I don't know, but Laura earlier asked if he's going to wear 3 jumpsuits.
3 popped collars, cool, and sweating. 3 jumpsuits. 4 months.
Okay.
Okay. Carly D. Bannon has 4 months to serve for supposed evasion. He was out on appeal. Judge Mershon has his court date in September for the stealing of the money. So he's got 4 months just for evasion, plus whatever he gets for if he is convicted of stealing from MAGA people who are giving him money for the wall. So it's at least 4 months. I like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Well, at 29 even, we are rocking and rolling today. Bernadette wants to know, will justice be served ever as far as Stinky is concerned? Like, collectively, will we finally be like, yeah.
Well, if we don't, it's not for a lack of Jack Smith trying. He's come up with the card for the reading. Meh. And I don't know that necessarily means there's going to be, I'm not saying there's going to be no justice. It's
Sure.
just how much would we really think would be enough?
Right.
This is the evidence. This is to win some of these cases. If he could just, like Jack Smith, if he could just get past Cannon, Dumpty would be toast with Top Secret's case. Toast. He would be a briquette. He would be a tiny piece of charcoal.
Yeah.
As far as he's toast. This is corrupt work. Wheel of Fortune, he was up at the top. He's now metaphorically getting crushed at the bottom, and he's for his delusions. One of the things that will always bug us, I think, us people who are not raging narcissists,
Right.
who actually, like people, is there is something cathartic, and we feel safer as tribal. We evolved in these little tiny groups. If you had somebody in your group, tribe, whatever, who never admitted to wrongdoing, no matter what they did, no matter what heinousness they did, they would not admit or show any remorse or anything ever. That gets our hackles up, because that would put all of us at extreme danger.
Yep.
That would be a good way to get yourself, at minimum, booted from a tribe, because you're already in too much danger, and to have somebody like that.
Yeah.
And so as far as us feeling like, okay, we got the sense of justice, it's going to be difficult, because we're never going to have that closure of hearing this idiot, this selfish, petulant, walking embodiment of all 7 deadly sins say, all right.
Yeah. That makes sense. Sense.
But as long as he's out of power,
we'll take it.
And also, I would like to again remind everyone that the Wheel of Fortune turns for everyone. And here is your friendly reminder that when you reach the top, when you are on the top of the Wheel of Fortune, be nice to everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Because the wheel will continue to turn.
Yep.
And how good of a person you are up here is going to make a whole lot of difference to what's going to happen when you're on the underside of the wheel.
Mm-hmm.
Just saying.
Yes. As an aside, somebody mentioned in the chat, backing up just a hair to the question before, Catherine noted that Bannon should dry out before he goes in. On one very big hand, yes. Obviously. I will also note that if he's only there for 4 months, he's probably not going to. So he can spend as much time of that in the infirmary as possible. So if he's in the infirmary, he doesn't have to deal with folks and being in an actual cell. So
I think he's going to be in for more than 4 months, though.
Oh, I think so too. But I'm just saying he's probably not going to, and betting on that's what he's going to want to do, is spend as much time in the infirmary as possible. So,
Innocent Potato pointing out some Native American tribes with their criminals on an isolated island with some firewood. It's just too dangerous to keep people like that around.
Yep. All right. At 34:45.
And I agree, Lewis. Sarah is brilliant.
Thank you. Oh, 55. Okay.
Oh, sorry, I just had another thought. Something I've been meaning to mention.
You're good.
Just a thought. What do I know? Entertainment only.
Mm-hmm.
Hang on. There we go. Small aside. There's a biopic of Amy Winehouse coming out.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen Kimberly Gargoyle recently?
Mm. Mm. Hmm. Hmm. Say no more.
Okay.
Very interesting. Yes. I wish that film had a better director or a different director. But okay. So at 36:05, Debbie has a question. Do you see Dumpty acting up this holiday weekend?
I've got nothing, Car. I mean, minor arcana, wussy, low number. Somehow I'm getting he's busy. He's never busy. This is why we now have in our culture the idea of executive time, meaning you roll into work at noon.
Mm-hmm.
His lawyers have maybe read him the riot act. I don't know, but he's trying to raise money. Feels like a rally. He's trying to raise money. He's probably going to record some more of those horrible hostage videos at Mar-a-Lago where he stands there.
Yeah.
Those short little obnoxious things.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, if anyone's wondering why he makes all those 8 million 30-second, just dozens and dozens of these 30-second videos, it's because they're then linked to different fundraising emails.
Oh, that makes sense.
So they're not even necessarily made for someone to just watch a bunch of them. It's all to raise money. So
that makes sense. Really quick, well, we're talking about this weekend and just ridiculous people in general and people popping off the mouth. I don't know. I saw this earlier and it didn't really warrant a question, but hang on. Janet says, so far I want to eat vegan ramen, salt and vinegar potato chips, do yoga, and listen to Amy Winehouse. Perfect.
Yeah. We're down.
Yes, absolutely. There was a group of indigenous people that were protesting at did you do my brain words? South Dakota, the one with the faces on it.
Mount Rushmore?
Thank you. Yes, they were protesting over at Mount Rushmore. Now, there was a picture taken of them, and of course, it doesn't label them specifically as indigenous people, but and they were talking about basically how the stolen land and whatnot, as it is. And so that was retweeted by Kyle Rittenhouse, who proceeded to tell them all, well, then just leave. And I'm like, yeah, you didn't. That idiot. Okay. So sorry. I was thinking about that earlier and I was just like, what a dork. Actually, I said other words, but yeah. Oh goodness. Exactly, Lady Eva. That child, yeah, he has been failed by more than just the education system. Exactly, Bratu.
Sorry,
No.
I was trying to find the that particular the images of Guilfoyle.
Ah, yes. Bratu, you were exactly correct. Indigenous
found
people
it
first. Go ahead.
Hang on a second. Open image in new tab. This was at a Trump rally. It's from Reddit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What was the line from the oh, no, wrong one, that one. The Trotus, is it send me back to rehab? I said no. Yeah. The sad, the especially sad thing is that she used to be
adorable back in the day.
Right.
This is proof that hate ages people.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, Lisa, that was from a few months ago, a couple months ago. Yeah.
Yeah, this is pretty recent. Like the first picture that comes up, she looks more like she used to when she was before she started messing with her face.
Oh no, but, Veronica, I don't think that was she was covering a baby bump. I think she was just holding herself together.
Oh yeah, so. No, I don't think that was. Yeah, I think she's.
Yeah. All right. Well, at 42:30, Biden has wasted no time reaching out to Haley voters after she bizarrely decided to back Trump. Will this hurt Donnie on election day? Lucky girl, I love you.
Thank you, lucky girl.
Yeah.
Will this hurt whom?
Donnie will this hurt Trump on election day? Because, Haley is all, I'm supporting Trump, and Biden's like, all right, y'all, you avoided the crazy. You weren't going for the crazy. She's going for the crazy. You don't have to go for the crazy. Come over here. There's a lot less crazy. We have cookies.
So,
yeah.
Yes, we do. You mean the crazy, which is the card for the reading? What it feels like is it doesn't even matter. Now, I know there are other readers who have been reading on Nikki Haley and getting that her career is toast. But I haven't read on that directly. I don't like her. So honestly, folks, there's some things, if you don't ask, I'm like, oh, good.
Yeah. There are some things come up in the news and she'll be like, has anybody asked about that? And I'm like, no. She's like, well, then it doesn't exist.
No, we don't need to read on that. Not always. And I do bring other ideas, but there are just some things that crop up. It's like, ugh. This is her weakness electorally. Even though it continues to win votes in the primaries, bigly votes in the primaries, even months after having dropped out. And Trump, we know Trump is struggling especially for money. He doesn't care about her unless she can bring him money. He doesn't care about anybody right now unless they can bring him money or keep him out of legal jeopardy. But this is women voters. So it feels like Haley's a non-entity.
Mm-hmm.
It's just whatever. You're a footnote.
Well.
That's what it.
Okay. Well, Claude had some questions earlier, and then Kathy had a question as well, and they all sort of came together to talk about the future of the GOP. So I figured they deserve their own little segment here.
Yay. No, I'm here to do this. I am here to do this because I would read on this stuff anyway. Even if I didn't have a channel, every day I'd be watching the news going, where are my cards? Ugh.
Right.
But.
Okay. So now for the 2024 election, your readings, is in you, have predicted that a Biden win and probably Dems taking back the House and keeping the Senate, which is a giant... Hopefully, yes. Which is a giant defeat of the MAGA GOP. At that point, any party would have to make an introspection and start revising their politics and start purging themselves of the MAGA poison, you would assume. Do you actually see them being... The first part is, do you actually see them being smart enough to do this? For them to go, okay, we'll take the L. Let's go back to the drawing board, figure out how to not get licked next time.
See, this is the problem I have when I don't have my gifts at the ready.
Mm-hmm.
I don't, if it's not somewhere
I think
obvious.
I know which one you're looking for. I just kind of want to make the face.
Yeah, it's not coming up quickly. So yeah, but there's a gif of Prince where he's sitting at the piano. He's sitting at the piano and he turns to the camera, crosses his legs, and is like, girl.
Yeah.
I
was thinking of the Bugs Bunny. No.
That would work too.
You see them even trying to do the reasonable thing. There's a few of these that follow up, so if it needs to be a shorter card toss, that's fine.
Card for the reading.
Mm-hmm.
3 cards. Card for the reading, then the 3 cards of the reading. It's a big happy family tower, and then this because of women voters, and then and then this Ace of Wands is all I'm getting is somewhat saying, but how could they have won? No, how could they? That's not possible. It's not possible that nobody, I don't know anybody who would vote for Biden. It isn't possible that Democrats won. No.
And see, all I'm envisioning is the universe getting a stick and smacking them over the head going, have you learned nothing? Okay, so following that up,
if it helps you any, right? That literally the next card on the deck.
Yeah,
that would be the Justice card. So yeah.
Well, and following that up, if they decide not to do the smart thing, will this ultimately lead to the end of the dominance of the GOP? Like, if they do not learn their lessons from this election, is that the beginning of the end?
If we were not entering Pluto and Aquarius, the revolutionary sign, I would be much more open to the idea that, yes, reality will dawn. It's a new day in America, and reality has dawned. But we've entered this 20-year period of the energy being a little. You know, you are an Aquarian.
Yes.
So you understand that energy.
My mother's an Aquarian. I'm an Aquarian. My husband's an Aquarian, and my oldest child is an Aquarian. Yes.
So the idea that we're going into a 20-year period of calm and peace, tranquility.
Sure, Jan.
Sure, Jan.
Sure, Jan. Sure.
They've gotten a taste of their extremism, them being able to vent their extremism.
Mm-hmm.
They want republic more than they want democracy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this is people voting for Democrats. This is a Republican having to walk away. Being Pentacles are Republicans, so out in the cold. But there are still going to be the donors, these super, super rich jerks who are like, I shouldn't have to pay any taxes. Oh, sure, I use roads and I use, other. No, just no, I shouldn't have to pay anything. Ha, ha, ha. So they're always going to be these jerks, which means they're going to be King of Pentacles. They're going to be Republicans are willing to support their view, but it doesn't work. It's not going to. You don't go through the Trump. I don't think you can go through the Trump era with that level of delusion, that level of letting your cruel flag fly,
mm-hmm.
and then to go away completely. Now, hopefully they will be out of power. They will stay out of power, but they don't go away. And I'm not picking up on them growing as people.
Right.
Thank you,
right.
T.A. Lee. Thank you.
The follow-up to this at 52:45. If ultimately the GOP, they take the ultimate hit from being idiots, will we end up seeing the birth of a new conservative party? And while you're pulling those, I want to reiterate, Aquarian energy isn't bad. It's hectic. There is never a dull moment in my house. There are parts of my chart that crave a dull moment. Like, I just, can we just stop for like a second and like
be boring
by y'all or something? I don't know. Yeah. Like, no, never. Just.
Yep. Rolled by Uranus, the planet on its side, just throwing out random energy. But flashes of genius.
They happen.
Yes. A new party, huh?
Mm-hmm. I mean, it doesn't have to be a successful one.
Well, that would be the establishment. That would be the institutions, as a party. It might, if Democrats win enough for long enough, then the lies about them will start to. People get, excuse me. If one party's in power for so many years, then the other party gets a leg up because people are like, well, things could be better, and so we need something new and fresh, and regardless of just how fresh or mothball Fourth Reich-ish it is.
Yeah.
So these are the Republicans working as they do, but they're facing judgment. They have their plans. Women, young people voting for Democrats, but they stay in power long enough. It's just the backlash. It just in X many years, it's almost a guarantee that we will reach a point where you will see a lot of people say, these Democrats are too extreme. I voted for them here, and there, but they're just, I don't know. We need a change just to have a change. And we are going to be like, do you have a memory? Did you hit your head?
Yeah. And then Kathy asked at 56 even, along this whole future of the GOP thing, will MAGA governors face any repercussions after Biden is reelected for everything that they've done to try to subvert everything? And then I don't know if I talked about this earlier in the chat before we went on. The Republican Ohio governor has put his foot down and said that Biden will be allowed on the ballot.
Good.
So maybe he got decaffeinated cafefe that morning. I don't know. But yes, so will the other MAGA governors or in general?
Well, the thing is that they are seen, they might automatically be seen as an oasis of republicanism, with depending how red the state is.
Mm-hmm.
Oklahoma is not going to go blue.
Oh no, mm-mm.
That's just no.
Mm-mm.
We can see what they've done and what they've done to women's rights, LGBTQ plus rights, on and on. We can see it. I've just got Temperance with the Chariot. I've got a lot of women. Strength in the middle, Queen of Swords, Four of Swords, being able to sleep at night. I've just got a lot of very strong women here voting. And that's what that is. And I'm not getting anything specific about governors.
Okay.
So, do we have any questions? We have at least one question about us. But enough about us. What do you think about us?
What do you think about us?
I'm kidding.
Wait 1 second. Yes,
Sure.
actually, Ronnie asked. Hang on 1 second.
Sure.
At
Thank you.
58:15. Just curious, how did you get started with tarot readings? Was it an affinity to it, or a sixth sense, or what?
Weird stuff happened to me, not often, but every once in a while, something very spiritual but very unusual would happen to me, and it had me questioning and searching,
Mm-hmm.
and spending more and more time in. Thank you, Fran. Spending more and more time in like New Age bookstores.
Mm-hmm.
I was also a huge book junkie.
Mm.
Not anymore, of course.
No. No, says that Kindle deal of last week. No. You stood strong. You rebuked the written words. I'm kidding.
I was bad. There was such a good sale on books.
I blame you not one iota. Not one.
But no, I think it's funny when I pick up certain New Age books that they almost, if you get like right in down in the crease, they kind of smell like the New Age shop. Do you remember how those New Age books, shops and bookshops used to smell? Thank you, Alan. Anne says only bought 10 instead of 20.
Sure.
A lot of those books were $1.99.
Exactly, and they're normally like 10 or 15.
9 or 10 or more. So
Mhm.
anyway, yeah.
She did
But-
future Sebastiene a favor. She really
Yes, I did. I did future me a solid.
did. Mhm.
Anyway. But no, the unusual things would happen to me now and then. You know, I feel uncomfortable talking about some of this sometimes, just because I don't know, some people look at you like you're crazy, but you know, I've just let it out. I've got too much Sagittarius in my chart where I'm just like, look, I've got a Mercury in Sagittarius. I just kind of let it hang out. If you want to think I'm crazy, go ahead. But all my life, I had a lot of memories that seem very much like they were past life. I've talked about that. I've talked about the ghost that inspired the novel I wrote, because my brain was trying to wrap itself around the idea of if ghosts are real and ghosts can do that and affect the physical world, then the implications are staggering potentially. But
A bit.
so I would be around in the bookstores. I would be in, there'd be a lot of tarot cards and decks and things, and so I would try various things. So, but not Ouija boards. No. Michelle is saying I'm halfway through the High House per your recommendation, and I love it. Yes, I was recommending to people. Thank you, Marby. Thank you. Thank you. I was recommending the other day. Sort of got an itch right there. The High House and the False House. So good. Anyway, James Stoddard, Stoddard. So anyway, I know I'm sort of all over the place, but I'm kind of wanting to say everything at once.
You're good. You're good. It's your 2000th episode. Talk.
Yes.
And also, round of applause. That is no small feat. So I'm proud of you, lady. I'm very proud of you.
Thank you. And I would not be where I am. I would not have had the success I have had over these last dozen years without you.
Wow.
This woman called me when nobody was calling me, when I was so down and so depressed, and I was on this medication that it slowed my brain down so my brain could heal, and I was in a miserable situation physically, relationship. It was bad, and Sarah was the one who would call me. What are we doing today? Okay, what are we doing today? Productive thing. You know, I found this organizer. And that's one of the things, that's one of the key things. And one of the things that really sticks out with, I mean, I make friends with people, but we have this bond over small business organization and planners and stuff like that we both love. And Sarah's son is sitting right on my midheaven. So where I'm trying to go with my career, she is right, her whole being is like right there. Whereas my Mars is on her Mercury. So I'm like, okay, let's do the thing. Let's do the thing. So
yes.
Kath
donated. I'm sorry to interrupt you. She gifted 5 memberships in the chat, which is very sweet.
Thank you. There was a question, where did the name Autumn come from? When I started the channel, I wish I should have made a note of who it was, but I started the channel and I wasn't using my name. I wasn't showing my face. I wasn't, I was really completely introverted. And after a couple of episodes, a few people had watched, which is really nice. Thank you. And someone said, we have to call you something. Like, are we going to call you Orange? I mean, what are we going to call you? And someone in the chat said, well, Black and Orange, the channel's named after the colors of Halloween. mean, that's that. I think it's always been that way. That's why I named it this. Matter of fact, I remember when I was thinking of the name, I was like, I just keep feeling I should use the name Black and Orange, and I was kind of meditating on it and what have you, and praying on it, and I just had this sense of almost like guides being like, yeah, that's what you're going to call it. Like, this is not the best idea, but yeah, this is what you're going to do. I was like, okay. So someone in the comments recommended, well, what about autumn? And I said, I like it. Let's do that. And then even now, I often just use that on this channel because some people can't handle they cannot spell, pronounce, or deal with my actual first name. So,
Amy's asking if you originally grew up near Chicago or in the Midwest.
That was another weird thing. I was born in Philadelphia, like the country, and we moved. My dad was in sales and marketing for a chemical companies, plastics companies, that kind of thing. We moved all the time and lived all over. But apparently from when I was very, very young, and be like, okay, we're moving, and we're hither and yon. And apparently starting from a very young age, my mom or somebody would ask me, well, where would you like to live? Maybe when you grow up or whatever. And I'd say Chicago. And they'd be like, why? And the nobody could figure out why, but I just always kept saying Chicago. And so when my sisters went off to college, and my sister ended up at Northwestern. My brain has gone blank on how to pronounce the name of the university. But anyway, she graduated from there, and she'd met a nice guy from Chicago, from the city. And so they stayed here. And then my middle sister moved here for trying to get a job. And then my parents retired, and they wanted to be near the grandkids. And
right.
And so we'd come back. And when I was in college, I had the opportunity to spend about 1.5 years at the School of the Art Institute of Chicago studying. And so it was always just Chicago. I do have aunts and uncles who live just outside of Chicago, but yeah, that was a big thing. And Claude is asking, have you lived outside of the U.S.? Yes. When I was 16, we were living in Parkersburg, West Virginia. And of course, you're a teenager, and you're just like, get me out of here. And he came home one day and he said, okay, there are various places where we might be moving. And I'm like, okay. And Dad said, okay. The first thing he said was, I'm not kidding you. He came home and he said, well, here's the thing. Right now, we're either going to move to Hong Kong or Indiana.
I love that. I can picture your dad saying that too.
And you also understand in astrology, my progressed son had just was moving into Sagittarius, which is the travel international sign of whatever. But also as a very brave 16-year-old who really wanted to go out. And I just looked at him and I said, there's a question? And then he literally came home 2 weeks later and said, it's done. We're moving to Holland. And I was like, hey, okay, I'll pack my bags. I'll be at the front door.
Lucky Girl said that the viewer who suggested your autumn name had the YouTube username Why Baby. That was who suggested that.
Lucky girl.
You're so awesome. And Lewis had a question for me, which was very sweet.
Good.
And he asked, had I or am I or have I ever been a teacher? Not officially. Where my kids are, it's not the greatest school district, and so I didn't homeschool because I'm not sitting here coming up with all that curriculum. I'm just not going to do it. It's just no. I don't have I'm too Aquarian for that. So they went to school virtually online through actually like accredited, just online.
Right. You won't create the curriculum, but we can use technology. Yeah.
Yes. So for many years, long before the pandemic, or as we, we'll use any word other than pandemic at our house. So it's like the panini press, the pandalarium, whatever. So long before the panini press, we were already doing school virtually. So, but just sitting down and having to stop and explain things and break things down when they would get stuck on stuff. It's just, yeah. But you're very sweet. Thank you.
Cool. There was something else here. Where was it? I'm so sorry. It went past. Someone was saying that here it is. Kath Harper was saying, my dad was pondering the same thing, came home and said, okay, we're moving to Australia or Oklahoma.
We're getting some shrimp on the Barbie, Essie. Yes.
Yeah. And Kath Harper said, same boggle. And that's the best way to explain that. Yes. There was also a question about how my actual legal first name is pronounced. It's Sebastiene. It is not Sebastiane. It's not an Anne. I like the name Anne. My grandmother, my beloved mom's mom. But it's an N. Pretend you're French. Do a fake French accent. The person who pronounced my name best is when I was in Holland, and you'd run across kids from the other schools. Like I was going to the British school, and you'd go to and there was someone from the French school, Peter from the French school, and it was Holland, and there were some people who smoked the very legal grass. He was one of them, and it was 1989-ish. So having short hair, boys with short hair here, and then like a long fringe was not unknown. And so I remember walking into this pub in The Hague, because you'd go to different ones to talk to different people. But he was always in this one, and I'd walk in, and it'd be like, hello, Peter. And he would slide his hand under his fringe, his bangs, and he'd lift it up and say, Sebastienne, oh, do not look at me. My eyes, they are so red.
That is hysterical. And so, Jody, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
No, that was it.
Jody asked, have I ever been to Barksdale Field? It's named after my great-grandmother's first cousin. Well, Jody, Barksdale Field is now Barksdale Air Force Base. Yes, they have shows. They had air shows and stuff growing, that we would go to growing up. It is actually where they brought W on 9/11. They flew him here, which I was, not happy about that. But because they announced it on TV, I was like,
oh no,
why say where? I'm like, I get it. Like, we're safe. This is a safe place, but why safe?
Yes.
Anyway, but Barksdale, it's a really big part of our community. It's technically in Bossier, which is a hop, skip, and a jump across the river. But it is so big now. It's no longer a little field. It is so big as an Air Force base that we actually have our own weather phenomenon here called the Barksdale bubble, which you and I have joked about that before, where it can cause, because of the heat and stuff that's generated by it, when there's a major storm system coming, it can just like part around us, like, like a roundabout. And so we sort of joke locally, it's like Barksdale bubble activate, activate, Barksdale bubble activate. And there's even there's some of the weather guys on the base that have jokingly started a Facebook page called the Barksdale bubble. And they're like, okay, here's the weather thing. And we're trying to turn it on. But yeah. So all that to say, yes, I've been there. And that is so cool that you are related to the guy it's named after. So
Claude's asking, did you ever expect to have over 20,000 subscribers one day? Expect to? It would be hard to express how closed off I was when I started this channel. And if I could get anyone watching, if I could get anything, just get any encouragement, it was a big deal. And I would look at other channels who had, 15,000 subscribers, and I would be like, that would be amazing. So, but
I remember when you finally got enough subscribers to be monetized, and you got your first little, it was like what, right at 100, you got like a little $100 deposit, and you were just like, oh my gosh, it's so cool. And I don't know if it'll ever be bigger than this, but it's just awesome. I finally got and I was so proud of you. I was so proud.
Oh, thank you.
Because I'm gonna start crying. You built this out of absolutely nothing. Nobody can take this away from you. This is, you had an idea, and you were like, and okay, yeah, you can sit here and say that I encouraged you, and yes, that's true. But
people inspired me.
I didn't do this for you. I mean, at the beginning, I was not here with you. I did not come on with you. You did your own questions. You did your own covers. You this
set up
your
set up all of the live streams ahead of time.
Yes. So this little labor of love here is entirely your baby, and I am so darn proud of you.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Oh, it's the truth. So this is 100% your jam. This is your thing. And I'm proud of you, lady.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Velma's mom is saying, I found out about your channel from Jen Lynn. Oh, talk about a woman of talent. Holy, man, that woman can move energy. I paid for, and I don't get a discount. I see readers and I pay full price, and I wait months the same way you have to. Every once in a while, if I have other readers on, every once in a while, one of them will say, hey, can I pull some cards for you? That would be great. But on the whole, so far this year, I've had a reading. No, I've taken Johnny's tarot course and had a full reading with Jen Lynn, full price, with healing energy. Man, that woman can move energy. It's amazing. There are some super talented people out there. And and there was one, but I guess part of the thing for me, because I heard somebody somebody recently, I don't think they had any negativity in their heart, but they were saying to somebody else, oh, like the psychic thing or whatever, which isn't something you can do. And then they went on with what they were saying, and I was like, oh, no, there is nothing I do that you can't. I may have more experience, and I do it with graphics, but
Panache, jazz hands, yes.
Jazz hands and graphics and
nails.
And occasionally nails.
Yes.
But we are all connected. We are all souls in these bodies for a temporary period of time. And there is in no way, shape, or form that you, oh, I'm not psychic. Oh, I don't have intuition. Oh, I can't read cards. Oh, I can't. You can. You absolutely can. When you first start reading regularly, things start coming to you, and early on, you start thinking, I must be making this up. I must be just imagining this. This can't be a thing. But then the more you do it, the more you start being able to feel what's coming to you as your imagination, what's coming to you as more of maybe a spiritual inspiration. But also baby readers, the people who are just starting out, I can warn you right now, and I've seen it many a time. People who are just starting out reading will often go to two extremes before they find the middle. And that is either they have no confidence in themselves, or some people will think that whatever they're getting, that's it. That's the truth. That's what's going to happen. And I'm just like, oh, bless. You'll get there. But no, that isn't how this works. We're on the collective energy, and we are at this lower vibration. This part of us is at this lower vibration to be down in these physical bodies, but we are directly connected to our higher selves, which is the rest of our souls. And then that is connected higher up and higher up. You are spiritually connected to all of the angels and archangels and the divine and everybody else. So do not cut yourself short. Do not feel separated, because you're not. So
you're so welcome, Jody. If you do decide to step out this way, there is a museum at Northgate that you don't actually have to go on the base for. It's attached, but it's like not on the base. So you can go in, and they've got the whole history there, and you might find some family stuff there while you're at it. So
cool.
Yes.
Anna's saying, I can't believe I've watched this channel for at least 4 or 5 years. It doesn't seem that long. I know, right? It doesn't seem that long to me either. Up here, Fran is saying, I started watching you 2 years ago. Thank you. Dealing with Trump and the garbage. You're helping keep me calm, and that's why I do it. Electrostorm is saying, I remember when you decided to show us your face because we were so down, and you sang to us the Star Spangled Banner. You made us feel better. Oh, yeah. It was after Trump was acquitted. Or rather, he had been impeached, but the Senate said they weren't going to remove him.
Yeah. I remember talking to you after the first time your real name had been spoken on camera. And I guess one of the parentals came upstairs and said your name, and you were like, my real name's on the internet. And I was like, oh. And then now you embrace it, which is cool. It's also seeing this channel grow has been almost as awesome as seeing you grow. Like you have just, you've gone from, now you and I know whatever.
Yeah.
But you've gone from being, you've got your little just done thing. You had like your one little pair of nails, one little set of nails, and you're doing your thing, and you don't even have a nickname, much less a whatever. And then it's slowly evolving, and okay, we'll show the cat. We'll do this. We'll do that. Okay, I can show my face. I can do this. I can do that. And so seeing you become more comfortable in yourself. Oh.
And a lot of that is on you. That is what you gave me.
No, that's on them watching this.
That's true.
Because you guys have been the ones who have been, I mean, I can, no, you're good. Because I support you. While I support you 24 hours a day, I'm not with you 24 hours a day. These guys, you all out here, are with her from Central Standard Time, noon to 1:15, sometimes 1:30, depending on the news, every day. Every day. And you guys have been so encouraging and so awesome. And so just, that I love that. Keep calm and Audubon. You guys have really just brought her out. And I love you all for it.
Yes. And made me feel safe enough to show my face and use my name and do the silliness, do the skits and the explanations and the whatever else. Yeah.
Kay wants to know if we block the haters. I'm actually Lucky Girl. It taught me how to be very, very good with all the permissions on the back end, which helps. So we have troll slayers, but Lucky Girl was like, she let us in on like the secret code. So like we have the football. Okay. And so I've got the codes. And whenever I set up the live streams, I make sure that it's yes.
Yep. And Lucky Girl, who has encouraged and helped and protected so many readers and helped so many people in the chat. Lucky Girl.
Lucky Girl, yes. Everybody stop just 1 second and show Lucky Girl some love because she has been amazing. Y'all don't realize how many channels she helps.
Yes.
They're 9 times out of 10. Well, I can't think of a channel that she hasn't in some way that has not sung her praises. Even if it was just she happened to be at the right place at the right time and did something. So Lucky Girl is like the unsung hero of YouTube political tarot. Absolutely. So, yes. All right.
Well, that was fun.
It was fun.
Thank you for coming on today, Sarah. I really appreciate it.
I would not have missed this. 2K. Hey. So
2K to hey.
Right.
And thank you everybody for watching and helping out. And you're great. You're great. Yes. All right. So that's going to do it. And but I will be right back here tomorrow. Tomorrow night is Patreon, the monthly Patreon social. So if you join, the links in the description. I don't have super expensive tiers, just so you know. And but you can come on screen if you'd like. You can have up to 9 people on screen with me, and it's almost never completely full. And if it is, people drop out as we go along. But and then we like start with a topic, and then we just have this great conversation. And tomorrow night, I wanted to talk to people about their astrology.
Very cool. And then somebody else had asked earlier, I think it was Janet, before we went on, had asked about the link for Patreon. Those come out at 7 a.m. Central Time the morning of.
The email.
The email, yes. The email with the links come out
If you are a
if you are a patron, yes.
Yeah.
You'll get that. That's
you get the
real.
email,
Mm-hmm.
and there's a post on Patreon
Mm-hmm.
with the link. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. But the link to join Patreon, to become a patron, that's always in the description
box.
Mm-hmm. Always. Whew. All right. Yeah, I'm just very, very touched. So anyway, thank you again. And it is 1:34 p.m. here in Chicago. I'm in the same. We're on we're on opposite sides of the country of the continental U.S., but we're in the same time zone. So
Yes.
I'm up north, and Miss Sarah is down south.
Yes. I wave hi all the time. It's like hello.
And so it's 1:35 p.m. here in the central time zone.
Yes.
And at 3 o'clock, we'll be over on the Creative Sprints channel. So in an hour and a half, just under.
Mm-hmm.
Bring whatever projects you want to work on, and we just want to encourage you. That's what we do.
Absolutely.
And it's totally free. So, all right. And other than that, I will be right back here tomorrow. Same cat time, same cat channel.
Absolutely.
And I don't have a boo-boo to... Oh, well, I'll have to find. All right. Take care. You're not alone.
That's right.
We are in this together. Seriously. On so many levels. And there are good days ahead. Please don't forget that. All right. So take care, and I'll see you right back here tomorrow.
Absolutely.
Bye. Bye.